Hello, fellow armchair Imagineers. It's your podcast compatriot, Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Jacob Wild 2.
And together we are the Big Podcast 3. All right, folks. All right, folks, we're covering Season 2, Episodes 19 through 24, because the airing schedule for the show is way out of whack. We decided to just wait until they were all on Disney+. But you know what? I think this whole chunk of episodes is a solid arc, if you will. It's a solid kind of, I call it the cruise arc. The arc of the cruise. We got a lot of good Nestor Carbonell action in this run of episodes, which I love.
I still can't believe that's the same guy who did Senior, Junior.
Oh, yes. Senior, Junior, Batman Well from the Tick, and of course, Sheriff Romero from Bates Motel.
Well, for all the Lost fans out there, he'll always be Richard Albert in my heart, but I digress. He has a beautiful moment at the end of Lost. Right.
He doesn't do anything of substance in Bates Motel at all. You're right.
I'm just saying he doesn't do anything in Bates Motel that's that emotional. No.
Are you kidding me? Did you not see that? Oh, anyway, so let's just bring it back.
No, I'm not. The moment at the end of Lost with Nestor Carbonell, people who know what I'm talking about can attest to this. Like, oh, it's oh my god, it's beautiful.
I will cite seasons 4 and all 5 with Romero in Bates Motel versus Eddie.
Romero's more pissed off than emotional.
I'll pretend I understood any of what.
Anyway, can we focus up a little here?
I'll pretend I understood.
Single gray hair, Dragon. Single gray hair.
What?
Albert's got a single gray hair, and it's beautiful.
It's all very sad. Let's get back to the Big Hero 6 of it all.
Wow. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into episode 19, Hero, the Villain.
All right, so Momokase is back. We love Momokase.
Yeah. Momokase is actually one of my... I really like Momokase as a character in this show.
Yeah.
There's actually nice.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I'm kind of getting a little bit lost with the rotating roster of villains here. I mean, I can keep track of most of them. I don't quite. It's been a while since we've seen her, hasn't it? Please tell me.
No, we saw her in the last arc when they all turned into monsters. So
we saw her during the Liv Amara arc.
Yeah,
I forget.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We have so many villains on the show. I didn't quite register.
Not as many, Tiki. We just keep recycling. We've added a couple, but it's only so many villains. Let's be honest. So
Dragon, you know how bad my memory is. All right.
Oh yes, and forgetting how great those latter seasons of Bates Motel were. But anyway, yes. Anyway, so Momokase. So basically, the premise of this one: Momokase blackmails Hiro Hamada into a team up.
To steal something from Yama.
Yes, Yama, of course. In the meanwhile, we have Megan, Cruz's daughter, Chief Cruz's daughter, kind of the Gwen Stacy, kind of Captain Stacy, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's developing, her reporter skills and kind of sifting out the connections of Big Hero 6 these days. Kind of last days we've been seeing Big Hero 6. Like, wait a minute, they kind of come out around the campus. That's of that nerd school now and again, don't they? And they're a little, they're a little tie-in with Cray from the movie. I saw that movie. They're why are we not connecting these dots? Says Megan.
So this episode finally answered the question: does Callahan regret his decisions? Does he regret what he does? Does he think that the fire was his mistake? Someone call Schaefer-Ellis because the series actually called the movie on that one.
James Cromwell bearing his...
They made sure to repeat it twice. He says mistake twice, and then they repeat it. I am convinced that's a nod to Schaefer-Ellis at this point.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I mean, James Cromwell's bearing his soul here. You're saying, it's this running gag.
That was his mistake.
Anyway, so
that
seriously
was my mistake.
Really nice bit with Callahan though, where he's covering up, like Big Hero 6.
In all seriousness, I love Callahan in this show, and I think they've done, like, in the brief appearances that he's had on this show, I think that he's more memorable than he was in the movie, honestly. And this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, all joking and Schaefer Ellis references aside, I do like that they're acknowledging that that was his mistake thing in the movie was maybe not the best look for a potential student mentor, and maybe he's having a lot of regrets about that, and coming to terms with the fact that he needs to own up to his biggest regret, which is killing Tadashi and being responsible for Tadashi's death. So I'm not trying to bag it. I think there's a lot of layers here that we're getting with very, very limited amounts of screen time.
I mean, it is a really great scene between him and Cruz, and him just kind of very curtly saying, you're wrong about Big Hero 6. He just kind of turn his back on Cruz after he's just kind of covering him and everything. They're really nice.
Uh-huh.
Right, so so we're still in the other kind of the main plot line of things here. We're stealing swords from Yama here, and they're really great. I really like the parallels here, where we kind of peel back the layers of Momokase, and we're seeing that Momokase very much like Hiro. She's legacy seems to be kind of the overarching theme that we kind of build to with the finale of this season, and I think we're definitely kind of seeding a lot of that in here with kind of this final arc, as it were. And this whole the layers of her, and basically the swords belong to her family. And there's this really I believe there's a story about her. Oh, this is great! I love this story about her father. Essentially, she traded him to protect her. I believe her father traded the swords to protect her family. And then basically she's kind of doing on what kind of happened in the past here, where she's kind of blackmailing Hiro into getting the swords to protect herself there, like basically making Hiro kind of step up to protect his kind of pseudo family, as it were. It's kind of a nice little parallel there.
Yeah, overall, I think this episode has a lot of tension to it. You know what it reminds me of, Dragon? It reminds me of that very famous Spider-Man cover issue where it's like, wallop and whelp snappers, what's going on? Do our eyes deceive us? It's our hero Spidey robbing a bank.
Oh yeah. I love that basically. So I believe like the DA or someone unseen is basically paroled Yama, so I guess he can turn on other people. So he's kind of ipso facto kind of close to the police, and all that Cruz just he's giving Yama the business there. I for one think this is a mistake. He said Yama going, oh. Anything? What?
His mistake.
Would you stop that?
I'm sorry.
Anyway, there's the Momokase. Well, I like that we kind of forged a little bit of a truce with Momokase, because as deadly and as kind of threatening Momokase is, again, she was on a cooking show with Aunt Cass, for pity's sake. So there's some common ground there. There's a little bit of, there's some common ground. They've kind of struck up, kind of like, okay, well, she didn't try to kill anyone this episode, and they've kind of like reached the truce, at least temporarily. She distracts the police in the end. It's really nice, and of course, as all this goes on, all great tech and magnet tech aside for Hiro, big reveal at the end. Oh yes. And then, well, there's also I love the gadgetry. I love the stealth gear, like the whole stealth cloth that we're implying, kind of this ninja gear, which comes back by the finale as well. That's all really great.
He's actually brought back in a couple episodes after this.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Yes.
And it's also revealed that's how they accomplished Fred Melian.
Yes. Anyway, so big reveal. Megan, she's figured it out, man. She's put all on the bulletin board. When someone breaks out a bulletin board, they're going to figure stuff out, and she has. And Big Hero 6's days could be numbered. We're going to find that out in the next episode.
Dragon, I'm curious. Have you ever watched Homeland?
I've been tempted, but no, I haven't seen it yet. No.
First, it's kind of like an Arrow situation. The first 2 episodes are like an arc unto itself, which is a good arc, but after that, it kind of falls apart. But my point, the reason I bring it up, is that show pretty much, that's where the cliche bulletin board kind of came from, at least in the modern age. Like that show kind of like used a lot of the bulletin board, man. The bulletin board was like one of the main set pieces of that show. I believe it. Also, anyways, we have Claudia in the comments. Claudia!
Hi!
Claude, just to address it, I'm terribly sorry. I uploaded the Steven Universe thing, but I forgot to add audio in the editing because I'm a stupid Claude myself.
Pretty much.
So Claude, Big Hero 6 will be up sometime early tomorrow. I apologize for the delay.
You mean Steven Universe Future?
Steven Universe Future. I'm sorry. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you for keeping me in check. Anyways, nice to see you on board, Claude.
All right. So, episode 20 then?
Yeah, episode 20, Portal Enemy.
This is a frustrating one for me. This is the most frustrating out of the batch. It's not bad, it's just frustrating as all get out to me.
Good villain, weak story, because that's pretty much how I felt. Like I like the villain, I like her accent, I really like her design.
Which is a sentiment shared by the heroes themselves.
Right, yeah.
Cirque is cool. I will give the episode points there. Cirque is cool. The idea of this acrobatic, kind of portal scientist with the French gimmick. That's kind of neat.
I love how Jacob just addressed it, but I love how they're all just fanboys over her accent.
I love how easily she stole Craze stuff. So the specs from Craze computers. This is such a hilarious scene. Of course,
that's some great animation right there, where she's hiding behind Craze's chair,
and he still doesn't notice.
God, it's just so. And he's just going for the opera glasses. I love he's on the phone with his mother talking about. Oh, I need the opera glasses. Not just to hate. God. Remember, just to hate watch the audience, not even see the performance. Just wants basically gossip and say, "Oh, I'm here," and those guys just they're being all silly in the other boxes and from the adjoining area.
Dragon, that sounds like something that Jimmy and Kim would do.
Yeah. Well, we know Jimmy McGill. He's used the opera as an excuse before Rich Schweiker. Anyways, we're drifting off.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so yeah.
Don't tell me anything about episode 8.
I'm only going to say one word to you about episode 8, but not here. Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
So, anyway, let's see. So the episode. Okay, basically, here's the thing. For me, this episode, we wade through a lot of BS to get to the good stuff. Which, again, we have a good climax, but there's some BS, especially in our Megan plot here. Megan plot really is infuriating to me here.
Oh boy, fighting words. All right.
So I mean, look, it's like ultimately she finally gets on board with Big Hero 6. Awesome, very good, love it. But first off, getting there, they've been building this for a while now, and it was like I wasn't sure where they're going. This payoff did not satiate me until the very end, I guess. Because I mean, first off, she makes this 180-degree turn from being supportive Big Hero 6 to I'm going to uncover who Big Hero 6 are not. And like, hey, we want to thank these guys. We give them some notice. They shouldn't have to hide anymore. So she's going completely from that. Just the whole Big Hero 6. We got to unmask them because the cops are doing the job. It's completely different than what she was feeling in the first place. She's fully with her dad and the whole like, yeah, let's go get them. They say they're doing good. I can't buy that. Like we do. Basically, she makes the argument that San Francisco does not need Big Hero 6, which again, as we see here and as we demonstrate throughout the episode, I know they win her on it throughout the course here, but it's like she's very obviously. I think the police are underqualified to deal with a portal making bad guy. I think we can all. I think we can all go with that one, but it's the fact that she's completely 180-degree turn there. And two, it's like, how can she be so perceptive yet so skeptical and it's just so skeptical at the same time and just not seeing all the obvious signs in front of her here. Like, okay, maybe there's a point here. Maybe, and yet she couldn't in the past episode. She couldn't just look at a photo of Big Hero 6 and put 2 and 2 together. I mean, there's just a lot of frustrating stuff with Megan here for me. It's like, I don't know where this is coming from.
Well, at least somebody finally found out who it was.
Sure, I mean, yeah, you're right about that, because again, if his writing was on the wall, it was an inevitability of time. But it's like, literally, when there's a line she has here, she says, you want us to go, God, I forget what the setup was. Essentially, she says, maybe that's a good thing. I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Like, basically, if the cops find out who we are, we're not going to be able to do our jobs. So maybe that's a good thing. What do you mean, maybe that's a good thing? Do you remember how you started off the season? Do you remember any of that?
That line kind of bothered me too. Although I must say, Dragon, I'm not as bothered by it as you were. I think some of the antics with her hanging out with the team are kind of fun. But it's just like I agree with you on a logic level. On a logic level, it doesn't really make sense. But I'm just saying, like, for me, it didn't really ruin the episode all that much.
I mean, had they dragged it on for a few more episodes, it would have been inexcusable.
Oh, that would have been a big problem.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad that's why I'm frustrated, but I'm not super against it. It's just, well, ultimately, she gets on the right side there. But also, let's talk about the main plot of the episode. Let's talk about the Silent Sparrow of it all. This whole this episode has a big connection to the Big Hero 6 movie.
Oh yeah, it does. Right.
It ties into the portals.
Yes. Basically, Cray had the program still open, or at least, I guess the file and the blueprints are on the books and everything. So they looked into it, and basically she's basically using a really awesome miniaturized kind of marble-sized kind of version of the portal tech, which I love. Oh god, I love that little tech here. I love what we're doing here. Like she just throws little portals and just teleports from place to place. Leads to a really exciting chase. Really great climax in a sense there. But again, a little bit of it's not so much like a Doc Ock sort of thing where it's like from Spider-Man 2. It's not so much like this is he's a little diluted. He wants I gotta complete my project. I gotta bring an energy source to the world, the power of the sun to pull my hair. It's not all that stuff here. Where she's just basically she's just stealing for herself. And it's just this bit where clearly, if you're a scientist worth your salt, just of any variety, you see the portal is changing color and it's getting all warbly and everything. And someone's warning you, hey, you got to stop this. The portal's unstable. Oh, no, the science doesn't support it. Like, what do you mean the science doesn't? Look with your eyes, man. That's what I'm saying. How could you not see that this thing's unstable and sucking everything in when you go into the portals? Like there's I don't know. That's the little nitpick for me. It's like, how can she not see that this? How can she see that it is not unstable? How can she not? I don't know.
There's a good point.
Was I the only one who was a little disappointed that there wasn't really a follow through to the whole thread of the original Baymax still being in the portal?
I felt that too, but I feel it's something. I'm pretty sure they got renewed for season 3, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be some. I hope there's going to be some payoff there. Maybe at this point they knew
because the way they set it up, I thought it was going to be like finale fodder.
Me too.
Honestly.
I'm with you there. I mean, I was so kind of swept up in it. I didn't really expect it because. But
I mean, maybe in her next appearance, because she kind of did imply that she'd be back again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, she says, she's like all grateful. Like, oh yeah, I'll fix this also. Thanks for the fix. So just very ungrateful too. It's like, oh, I'll fix this, and I'll be better next time. It's like, what? You're not even going to stop after you almost destroyed the world again? You almost created the same disaster from the end of the movie. I don't know.
All right. Anything else?
No, just things kind of worked out by the end of things for sure. And again, little Baymax carrot there to be kind of adds to the loss of Baymax too. The fact that the original is still in the portal, that's quite nice.
All right, episode 21, Fred the Fugitive.
This was a really good one.
Yeah, this one was it was fun, and it also had some heart to it, and it was a really good kind of development of Fred's character, I thought. As you guys kind of know, Fred is not my favorite character on this show. I don't hate him, but I find him to be, I find some of his antics to be, let's just say that Fred along with the Captain Cutie of it all is kind of like the main points where I'm reminded, like, oh yes, I'm watching a show that's meant for children. Like, I shouldn't be taking the show that seriously. But I do think that Fred this is like some of Fred's best development right here. Actually, Fred has a lot of development throughout these last few episodes, so we'll kind of break it down episode by episode as it comes.
Especially the next one too.
Right.
Let's see. So, of course, Big Hero 6, classic Spider-Man, they've been misconstrued as the bad guys. They're kind of fugitives now, and Freddy's aching to go back on nightly patrol. And of course, this leads to, we have this hilarious thing where he's trying to sell Big Hero 6. Like, come on, it's safe to go out again.
That's a great gag.
We have this hilarious kind of, basically these I'll call them these faux villain calls, these faux calls, if you will, where he's basically...
We have a catastrophe.
He's Obake, and he's an alien with Honeyland playing the alien, which is hysterical.
He's bluffed under.
Honeyland was like, "Come on, yeah, that's nicely," and it was fun.
and Mini-Max is like a Godzilla type thing, and of course, just reveal Heathcliff. Just the fact that Fred left that in, just not seeing it, any of this would just ruin the illusion. God. So basically, Fred sees like a little loophole, like, well, if we go out as a duo, not Big Hero 6, maybe we can get away with it. So it's him and Mini-Max going out in the town.
Uh-huh.
We have this runner of the inner monologue. Oh, God, the inner monologue runner is really funny.
Long pause, longer pause. I'm still pausing.
God. So yeah, basically with this episode, the first half is really funny, and then it gets pretty suspenseful. Actually, like the stakes are relatively high. I like how they I like how they have Fred and the rest of the heroes kind of separated from one another, and Fred's in this sticky situation.
Literally.
I like it. It's kind of. I kind of like how they don't really blame Fred too much. It's like they very easily could have like made Hobbs out like, oh, this is bad. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, like swat with a newspaper or something.
Jacob, you bring that up. That reminds me of a point I was going to make earlier, where in the first couple episodes of this run, I felt like they were building towards the team kind of losing a little bit of trust in Hero. Between the villain team up of it all, and then letting Megan see the lair. And then that was something that was, maybe I was just kind of like reading into the prediction a little too much, but I felt like there was a little bit of tension that just kind of went away.
All right.
I don't know.
We have some comments. Yeah, we have some new people too.
Oh, hey.
It's Atomic Beast. Welcome.
Hey there. Atomic Beast. We, as a matter of fact, that's the whole reason why we jumped on this show is because of the Kim Possible and Buzz Lightyear of it all. Dragon and I are big Kim Possible fans, and especially big Buzz Lightyear Star Command fans. Let's get Buzz Lightyear Star Command on Disney Plus already.
Yes.
I'm more in the KP boat on that one. I still haven't seen.
Oh, we already have it on Disney Plus. That's the thing. You won that. We won that battle. We got to get to the next battle. Buzz Lightyear and Tarzan, guys. That's the ones we need on Disney Plus. Anyway. So also, Claude says, it would be awesome if the Avengers showed up in the Big Hero 6 the series. I mean, I doubt it. Would I be gobsmacked if they did it and they got like the right versions of the Avengers? Sure. Like you give me like an Earth's Mightiest Heroes-esque version or something. Like none of this Avengers Assemble stuff.
You know what I could see is I could see like an obscure, silly character like a Howard the Duck or something like that, or maybe even a Korg. I don't know. I don't think I couldn't picture the whole Avengers showing up.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like some sort of Marvel crossover. But you know what? I think the Guardians of the Galaxy would be a better fit, honestly, if there was to be a team up.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So there's a lot of fun stuff in this episode too. So here's the thing: we have some fun stuff, and we have some stuff of real substance. So, of course, fun stuff. Aunt Cass and Chief Cruz go on a date.
Oh my god!
I love like Baymax with the heart rate gag. Or it's like, oh, your heart rates you're getting awfully excited.
Oh, hey, Dragon, do you remember my waiter story?
Yes, I do, Tiki. We dedicate a whole podcast to it. I remember your waiter story. Yes.
It was on my dad's birthday, and the waiter was basically acting exactly like how this waiter was acting.
Well, I love basically everything about this place. By the way, the whole restaurant is called the Wait List, so it's like the most inconvenient, worst dining experience ever. So it's the wait list. It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes before the guy even takes your food order, and it's. And basically, they serve such small portions that you need between two people. You need 14 dishes worth. God,
Claude is speaking our language right now.
Yes.
He's saying, first of all, I agree that Fred is the Beast Boy of Big Hero 6, and also Disney needs to put Fillmore.
That's the one I'm saying yes to. Yes, Fillmore. If there are 3 shows, it's Buzz Lightyear, Tarzan,
and House of Mouse. I'll gladly sign off on House of Mouse.
Wait, House of Mouse isn't on there?
Nope.
I don't think so. No,
that is crazy talk, man. I mean, of all things, the mouse should be on Disney. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
All right. Animated series based on The Incredibles. It would probably be a pure continuation than Incredibles 2 was. Oh, I had to get it out there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a dirty, dirty boy.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Anyway.
And that'll be perfectly fine.
Anywho. Okay, let's see. Getting back on point here. Oh, yeah. So basically, of course, Chief Cruz is torn away from his little dinner date with Aunt Cass to kind of arrest Fred here, and tries to unmask him. Does not go well because of the whole basically with the invisibility glitching out, which is the reason he gets caught, going as Fred Melian. Mouth can't be opened, so Fred is saved. And I love this gag we work. There's a Martha joke in here too, of like it reminds me of this one issue where the hero and the police chief both have both realize they have a mother. Yeah, it's just hilarious. My favorite thing, I love Chief Cruz just dragging Fred by his tail. I think it's hysterical. It's just Chief Cruz.
Too bad he couldn't jump away.
I know he couldn't jump away, but it's fact Fred just trying to climb there. Just Chief Cruz with one hand just drags him. Oh god, looks it's so funny. So, of course, Freddy gets a big boy talk by Felony Carl, our man.
Oh my god!
Carl.
It was nice to see him again. He was being arrested.
Can we just get a Felony Carl spinoff?
I'm down for it.
Or at least a full episode dedicated to him, and maybe Globby.
Well,
too.
that's what I'm saying. That's what let's do baby steps. Let's start with the episode. Let's start with the standalone.
Let's give him a backdoor pilot first. You know, we got to see where.
Which, honestly, I like. No kidding aside at all. I think the show could very, very easily do a Felony Carl episode, and it would be great.
You have to have like Globby as his roommate, though.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Globby would. It'd be like Better Call Saul. It'd be like Felony Carl would be like the main character, but then Globby would be the Mike.
Yeah, even though their personalities are a little bit more reversed, but yes.
Right.
But yes. Anyway, so of course, killing Carl imparts the really important lesson that you have to deal with your repercussions. You have to deal with kind of the consequences of your actions, all part of growing up, which of course leads to Fred going for the sacrificial play by the end of the episode, where he's willing to offer himself up to go his friends. Get away from the San Francisco PD.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, poor Felony Carl, like that's what they break Fred out for a bit. It's like Felony Carl wants to go with them. The lizard man and I shared a moment. Sorry, Felony Carl, this is honey. Let me just Okay, so my favorite part of the episode is the Mere Horror Woods segment, particularly less the whole bear shenanigans. Nothing against Bessie personally, just not so much
the bear shenanigans kind of dragged, honestly.
I know, not so much the bear shenanigans, more so the bonding. That's what I love most. I love
this episode does beg the question: how does a rock brought to life as a bear have cubs?
Well, that's her business, Jacob. Anyway, so I have no idea. Anyway, so basically, what's so great here is that we're building a trust and an understanding, and with Hero and Cruz here, after Hero kind of ditches the costume, they kind of bond for a second. There gets an insight as to it's a really valid question. Like, why is he such a dog with a bone going after Big Hero 6 on this very misunderstanding? I'm sure could be clear if you just look at all the good they're doing out there. Why is he so J. Jonah Jameson about everything at the moment here? And of course, we have this wonderful backstory for Chief Cruz, and I was like, they were major points here.
I'm sorry, I have to throw shade at Incredibles 2, but I feel like it's warranted in this situation because this backstory is like the Screenslaver backstory done right.
It's exactly the same.
I like it better. I don't know. I like it better.
You like it better because it's not Incredibles 2.
Yeah. It's not really the same thing at all.
I think it's at least similar, Dragon. I mean, Jacob's saying it's exactly the same. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Hey, I think you weren't saying that sarcastically.
Jacob?
What? You talking to me?
Yeah, you weren't saying that. I thought you were saying that sarcastically.
Well, I mean, it's definitely similar.
Well,
yeah, and what I'm saying is it's similar, but I think it's improved upon here. So,
regardless, I don't really think it's the same thing at all. I mean, but regardless, anyway. So, point being, we learn about how he lost his father, which is a really great little backstory here. Basically, in between, heroes inspiring villains. Of course, via Boss Awesome. Again, we just kind of think of all positive things about Boss Awesome and everything about the downside, where it kind of epitomizes kind of the usual escalation factor of a superhero. Where again, Boss Awesome is all about these victory war stories. Oh yeah, I knocked that guy out, and he spun out a catchphrase, the Baron von Steamer. You know how it goes. Of course, boy and his father coming home from a movie. Father saved Cruz. Cruz got caught in the crossfire. It's tragic. And seriously, I love what Carbonell did in this scene, too. I love that they're both kind of taking this moment to bond over their losses, like with Tadashi and with Cruz's father. Really good moment there. And he sees that Big Hero 6, their intentions are good, but they're causing more harm than they are helping. So good stuff there.
All right. So that leads us to episode 22, Major Blast.
They have another Fred development episode.
This is a neat one.
Yeah, Dragon, I'm assuming that the brief bits of Stan Lee we get are obviously probably archival.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're archived.
They were recorded before his death.
Yeah, because just the greeting and like that, he always says classic, and he says, "Oh, hello, Fred." I think it's about all he says.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much stuff we've heard before. Anyway, so basically we have this really cool looking arch enemy for Fred here in Major Blast. Just really excellent design too. I love how the whole costume works. It's kind of like a built-in, kind of like it's the unbeatable foe sort of gimmick here. It's just really really neat. A faux design to push Fred's limits.
Kind of, it's definitely been. And I really like the whole floppy disk thing.
Oh god, the floppy disk. Yeah.
I was like, not the punch. I was like, what is it going to be, a floppy disk? And then they said floppy disk.
Yeah.
I was like, I called it.
So I love that we're pushing Fred to kind of confront his kind of ADD in the field, as it were. You know, he's training to as he trains to beat Major Blast, because he keeps getting distracted and kind of citing all the stuff in the midst of battle, which constantly takes him off his game. I love that Roddy the Lair King, if you will. That guy. I love how he's wonderful John DiMaggio stuff there too. Of course, John DiMaggio, big of course, claim to fame in Kim Possible for Dr. Draken. We should also note that. But seriously, I love that we have the simulator built up here, kind of like a nod to the X-Men.
Not to mention, Dr. Weston also plays up to his Motorhead side too.
That it does. Oh yeah, you're right. Definitely some Motorhead in there too.
Sorry.
And, yeah. God, sorry, it's funny. Anyway, so Roddy here, I just love this whole like the kind of the pre-programmed kind of simulator thing. Every time he fails, I'm starting to run out of ways to tell you that you failed.
Oh, by the way, I love that Fred wants a lazy river in the lair.
I mean, who doesn't?
I want a lazy river everywhere, man. If I could have a lazy river in my backyard, and I've legitimately thought about the spacing for that. It'd be a small lazy river, you know. It'd be only wide enough for one person, but it'd be there. God damn it! All
Maybe
right,
not lazy, but business casual.
Right.
If I could take a lazy river to work, I would.
It'd be more of a flume than a river, but you know.
Couldn't sell T-shirts to it, but you know, it's a attraction.
And the next up would be the lazy waterfall.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a creek in my backyard, if that counts for anything. Anyways,
not really the same thing at all, but anyway. So
it works if you drain water into it. I mean,
yeah,
it's a pretty decent effect.
Okay, anyway. So I love Fred's solution ultimately. I love Fred's solution is that isn't necessarily a weakness. Basically, he turns his weakness into a weakness for his foe. Really clever. He's kind of passing it on to his foe by distracting his foe in the midst of things. And of course, we learn who his foe is, gentlemen. Who is Major Blast actually?
And look, she's a mom.
Mrs.
Fred's mother.
Fredrickson.
Mrs. Fredrickson. It's like a big Scooby-Doo unmasking moment. It's Mrs. Fredrickson, and I do like the
Mrs. Fredrickson.
Say what? It's a great little rite of passage for the Fredrickson family. She pushed Boss Austin to his limits, and once he kind of saw past it, eventually that built her a lot of confidence. You have to worry about him in the field, and now we have a similar thing with Fred, and she knows that he's in Big Hero 6, as you probably imagine, and she approves all the heroics. Ain't that nice?
At least there weren't any red herrings in the episode.
Yes.
Red herring?
Yeah.
What is it, Jones? I was out of town at the time, Jones.
I just had to bring him. I had to bring him into this conversation.
Oh god, Pup named Scooby-Doo. So that was the best of the Scooby-Doo shows, to be honest.
I don't know if it
was one of the greats, so it's not fine. Maybe it wasn't the best.
It was one of the better ones. I don't know if it's as good as Where Are You, just because of the legacy factor, and I still have to watch Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
That you do. On Netflix now.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Okay. So, Major Blast aside, also Heathcliff came into play really nicely. I love that they had no files, but Heathcliff kind of came in for. I was suspecting Heathcliff was Major Blast for a bit of the episode there, actually.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that actually would have been an interesting twist.
Would have been. Okay. So again, Fred character growth, very nice, which leads to episode 23, right?
Yep. Fear not.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
yeah, go on.
This is a great Wasabi episode.
Yeah, but finally another Wasabi episode.
I think this is a great episode. I feel it's kind of 2 episodes. I think yet again we've spliced together 2 episodes. Not much of a connection there. Two good episodes though. That's the thing. I think we kind of spliced them together. Their plot lines here. I mean, for one, the Wasabi of it all. Yeah, of course, Fear's public speaking as a compliment to his copious list of other fears and phobias.
Which is a bit called, what is it called? Like gossophobia?
I have no idea.
Something like that. I just first of all, can we just acknowledge that I think Wasabi being a teacher is a really good natural step for his character?
It is. It really is, because he's the wise man of the group. He's very
Although he should have had time to prepare instead of Granville just like shoving it onto him.
That is true.
Well, I feel like Granville's kind of taking the approach of like pushing the kid into the deep end of the pool to teach him how to swim.
Yeah, that's never screwed any kids up. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that Granville's the most responsible mentor. I mean, she's a great mentor, but she's kind of a Dumbledore style mentor.
I hear I'm joking about the distrust there, but you're right. Yes, it is. Yeah.
I mean, she did kind of.
Albus Dumbledore's a great mentor, but man, the shit that he put Harry through, anyways.
That'll be fine. His title character will be fine.
Hiccup, you were saying?
No, just like she did in a roundabout way have a hand in Obake, so.
Right. That is true. She's.
Although I don't think pushing Wasabi to teach him will automatically turn him evil, though.
But let's talk about something that was just utterly hysterical about the Wasabi side of the story. The Professor Wasabi fantasy.
Oh my god!
I just love it. We go all the way to like the aged Wasabi with a cane with his own statue, just all the lives that he's enriched and everything. Oh god, it's hysterical.
Not to mention the training montage. It's like the only way to solve the fears is to replace them with even larger fears.
And again, the eyeball simulators, the simulation gone wrong, where now it's just the eyeballs and just seeing like origamiing his way back to being Zen. It's hysterical. Speaking of hysterical, let me talk about the side of the episode I really like. Nothing against the Wasabi stuff. Again, 2 fine episodes. I think we just kind of casually crossed them over by the end. Like, Wasabi needs to save the day here because it's kind of a Wasabi episode. The name of the episode suggests it's a Wasabi episode. Yet, we have some really great Supersonic Sue stuff. Even better, we meet her grandson, Supersonic.
Yeah, her grandson is pretty fun.
This is very much kind of I'm sure Jacob, you're circling around.
What do you say, Stu? You're as smart as a bag of hammers.
Very much kind of a dynamic of Senior, 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 and Senior, Senior, Junior, which is one of my favorites from Kim Possible. This is great. This is so fun, very Kim Possible-esque. Also, I recognize the actor who played Supersonic Stu. This guy's from Veep. He is Timothy Simmons. He was, for any of you who've seen Veep, he's Jonah from Veep. He's kind of the guy he worked for the president's office. Basically, he had to relay all the bad news from the president to the vice president, which is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And they all made fun of him relentlessly because he's really tall and they called him like the Jolly Green Giant. They called him a barrage of names I dare not repeat here because they're very filthy. Point being, guy's really funny. Can be really funny. Here, this is proof of it. There. Oh my goodness, it was so hysterical. I love Jane Lynch. I love whenever we can bring Jane Lynch into it as Supersonic Sue. And I love that she's this loving grandmother with this giant, lovable, dim-witted grandson. It was a really great design, by the way. I love the design here. I love how it works and the speed and everything. It turns kind of like a sonic ball almost.
Oh, it's totally a sonic ball, yeah.
Great. He's breaking her out, and he's kind of her sidekick, and she's so endearing with him, though. That's the thing I love about it. She's not like yelling at him at all. She's like giving him cookies to pacify him. She's like telling him, "Oh, don't be afraid of ghosts at all." Well, it's hysterical.
Really quick, Claude's asking which you like better, Big Hero 6 or Tangled, the series. Claude, I have not watched Tangled yet. It's on my to-do list for sure. I've heard good things. Either of you watched Tangled?
I will eventually get the Tangled. Here's the thing: I got sidetracked with Chuck, so I think that's probably what that's the Zach Levi thing I went with instead of. Ironically.
It's almost like comparing to apples and oranges, considering they're basically two different kinds of properties. Like one being, well, technically they're both kind of adventure, but one's more action and the other one's just like more adventure kind of thing. But so I guess it depends on your preference, really.
Yeah.
I just finished the second season because the third season's not on Disney Plus yet. It's kind of hard to say. Honestly, I think as far as the series is how far as the series is constructed, I'd probably go with Tangled, honestly, but it's kind of like pretty close.
I love that Roddy has like a kidnapping, like kind of this kidnapping.
Oh my god, that was great.
Built into
he's
whenever
so casual about it. He's eating a sandwich like freaking like.
Tiki, not just any sandwich. He made it. This is the unsung bread of all the sandwiches, my friend. Pumpernickel. You never see pumpernickel in animation. You never see it.
I didn't know you were such a pumpernickel guy,
Dragon. No, I'm just appreciating of the pumpernickel brand. You never said anyway. It's just so rarely do you see a pumpernickel.
I'm always a
sandwich.
Sourdough guy myself.
That's what I'm saying, though. But pumpernickel, you never hear
guy.
it, though. You know.
Speaking of, I'm more of a roll with whole guy myself.
I'm not really much of a sandwich guy at all, but it's just like the sandwich I love is the ice cream sandwich, if I'm being frank. But the point is, though, there's the pumpernickel sandwich. Seeing that bread well represented, there's like the dark color on the. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Regardless, I love that as the built-in measure in case he gets kidnapped by a villain, which inevitably will happen if he's working for a hero. Hero is obligated in the contract to save him,
which is a smart move.
It is, very so. And of course, I love how clever Roddy is, basically handicapping all the layers they're trying. He's just delaying the process of Big Hero 6 can find him. And of course, the dry rot. Oh, God, the runner with the dry rot.
They're all logistical reasons to not build a layer in a place. So.
They are. Dry rot. The rot!
I hear squeaking underneath the floorboards.
God. Well, Wasabi's solution to his dilemma, by the way, is really nice. He's using Minimax as the distraction. Like, look at him, listen to me. That's quite good. And I love his end solution. While I'm not crazy about the crossover of the episode with the two plot lines, I do like the solution where basically he uses the SFPD as kind of a net to catch the bad guys in a sense. Where they're going after me, I'm just going to use the Invisiclaw to get away. Quite nice.
Yeah, which is like, it's nice to see like. And I like his solution at the end. He's like, I'm not good at public speaking, but I will say this. Bye.
Right. So that leads us to the season finale, episode 20. What is it? 24.
24 and 25. It's kind of a two-parter, but essentially it's 24.
Yeah.
It's a big 24.
Legacies.
Yeah, it's like it's combined on the wiki, even though it's like separated everywhere else, and I just didn't want to use two different pictures for this thing.
No, you made the right call.
No problem.
It's a big one. No, that's all. You're right, though.
So my one gripe with this episode is I really feel like they should have built Trina up more than they did. I mean, I know she's been around in the season. It just didn't. Like specifically in this arc, it really didn't feel like they built her. I mean, they kind of teased Obake a little bit here and there, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I thought it was going.
Where?
I thought they were going to use the hard light guy. Remember the Will Friedle character? That I thought they were going the other side of the Kim Possible coin on this one. I thought they were going with Will Friedle because we set him up, and the idea is he was working for Kraytech, and when they say, "Oh, it's coming from Kraytech with these bots," and we saw kind of those obscure figures, saying, "Oh, it might be him."
At first, I was almost kind of expecting that someone else to be someone like the Major Blast, almost like be related to Hardlight in a way, based on like how he reflected everything. And then I kind of expected it here again, as you guys said, but maybe we'll see him again in season 3.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be like they're probably saving for season 3, I guess. But that's the thing. So ultimately, being Trina, I mean, Trina compared to Hardlight, if it was Hardlight, it would have been like, okay, we set up in one episode, then we pay him off the thing. Not a lot of fanfare there. But Trina, we've seen her a bunch, so I kind of buy it. Again, it fits into the whole Legacies theme, though. So I'm satisfied with Trina being the big bad guy is kind of seeking her revenge, and it's like Hero couldn't have quite seen it coming that she's going to get revenge. Didn't see it quite on this level though, and, like the fake out the whole Izobake back thing, kind of little Teen Titans esque. My favorite episode of Teen Titans is I believe it's Haunted. It's the one where you think Slade Mayer, you don't know if Slade's alive or not, and
that's like objectively the best Teen Titans episode.
So good, it is. It's so good.
No, that episode is disturbing.
That's like the blood bending. That's kind of the my comparison would be the blood bending episode.
I'm surprised you've seen that one. So you've seen this one, eh?
I've not seen it, but I've seen it on top 10 lists of like disturbing animated episodes. Last Airbender is another thing I need to get to for sure.
Yes.
That bloodbending episode is just spine chilling.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know everything about it. I haven't. We should do that for seasonal shenanigans at some point.
I think you mean haunted. Do you mean haunted holiday hijinks?
Yes, I mean haunted holiday hijinks. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Legacies.
My brain's a little bit fried from the isolation.
No, I think it's more fried from the Animal Crossing, but that's not
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, given how many setbacks we've had lately. Anyway. Yes, anyway. So the point of the SFPD, they have employed the Buddy Guardians, kind of the upgrade from the Buddy bots, craze not so useful bots in capturing Big Hero 6. Now we have some useful guys here, the Buddy Guardians, and a very Ed 209-esque from RoboCop, and I love that about them.
And it kind of explains how Craze was able to have a lot of these robots too.
True. And I love, and of course, while this is going on too, the personal side of things, again tying into the grand whole of the story here, we have the bad guy's legacy, and the good guy's legacy is the graduation plot, where everyone's. So this is gonna be really interesting getting into the next season because the Big Hero 6 gang, they've all graduated except Hero, I believe.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure Wasabi's going to be a teacher, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see where Fred and Go-Go and Honey Lemon go. I think right now Go-Go and Honey Lemon really need stories. I think that should be like the focus of, because I feel like Wasabi and Fred got pretty fleshed out this season, especially towards the end. But I don't know. Honey Lemon and Go-Go are kind of just like baseline how they were in the movie for the most part. Still.
Yeah, I hear that. I love Craze. I love Craze's little slogan. I love the future is garbage. Oh god! So just not seeing it. The future is garbage. Just like going around the slogan of all the new garbage trucks.
I follow Bob Schooley on Twitter, and he actually posted a picture of a mug that has Craze's face on it, and it said "The future is garbage."
Nice. So really quick, Claude has a really good question. What is your favorite Disney series based on an animated movie? Claude, I'm going to have to go an unconventional answer and say Timon and Pumbaa, like for sure. I love the Timon and Pumbaa animated series. I think that's frankly, I think the Timon and Pumbaa characters work a lot better in that show than they do in the actual Lion King movie, because the tone of that show is just one big freaking Looney Tune. And I love how Timon and Pumbaa basically spits in the face of continuity. It's a lot of fun.
Basically,
but of course,
sorry.
Go ahead. Well, I was gonna say for Dragon, I'm sure Buzz Lightyear Star Command comes to mind.
I mean that and Legend of Tarzan. But if you count Buzz Lightyear Star Command, then yes. But if you want like a direct from the movie, then Tarzan. So
I think if you count Timon and Pumbaa, then you count Legend of Tarzan, or you count Buzz Lightyear Star Command. I mean,
sure.
They're both spin-offs.
Well, those are my two choices. I guess I'm going to lean towards more one. I'm going to go Buzz Lightyear, no question. So.
Well, I mean, I have a bit of a different answer. Well, Timon and Pumbaa is one of them. I think my other choice would be Aladdin.
That's not a bad
Aladdin's
choice.
a solid answer for sure.
If I had a third, though, I might go Hercules. Hercules had a good series.
Another thing that needs to be on Disney Plus. Aladdin.
Yeah.
Hercules is on Disney Plus. I mean, the animated series is, but for some reason, Aladdin isn't.
Yeah, you're right. That is because they had a crossover too. It's even weirder.
Technically, that thing with McCorkle and Schooley also worked on that show too.
Mm. The Magic Men. All right.
Pretty much all their work outside Kim Possible has been movie adaptations.
Yep, except when they adapt their own series into a movie. That's been the only time they've really just in live action, I should say. That's been the only egg on their face, really, for those guys. Anyway, so getting back to more positive things, legacies. This is seriously, I love the connecting tissue, kind of the three legacy plots we have here. So of course, Cruz is kind of like. One of my favorite scenes is when Hero's reaching out to Cruz via the drone, which is really clever on his part too. Because if he gets caught, I was just going to blow away. And he's a drone. He's not risking being caught here. But he tries to kind of reach out to Cruz and say, "You of all people knows the danger of a villain here. That if Obake's back and he's responsible for these guys, they're in grave danger. You got to shut these things down." And of course, the legacy connected Cruz deep down. He's doing all this to kind of because of the loss of his father. And of course, vice versa. Here you have all the stuff with Tadashi, and then of course the main kind of big reveal here is that Trina is kind of carrying out Obake's kind of mission, Obake's legacy of this whole robot revolution.
And I think it kind of implied that Obake is pretty much officially dead.
But it's not looking good for him. But I don't know, they could always have his. Maybe if they could, the chips are around. They could always have his brain be on a computer program. Perhaps they could always bring him back digital, like Armin Zola from Winter Soldier. Maybe I don't know.
No, I mean that wouldn't be too far out of the realm of possibility in this show.
But yeah, so they did pay that off because we saw that chip at the end of last season. So they did kind of pay that off really nicely with this whole tree. That's the thing I really like about the Trina thing too, is that it does kind of track with everything that was done there. Mm-hmm. And again, ties into the whole, we have basically the differential between our good guy and our bad guy here. And what's really great is that, Trina, the legacy of Trina's honoring is it's all about the technology and the genius rather than the humanity, which is what, Tadashi was all about. So very much, again, if Tadashi and Obake are kind of reflections of each other, then Hiro and Trina are also reflections of each other in that sense, honoring the brother, honoring the father, in a sense. So it's really nice. So when Big Hero 6 is captured, Globby saves the day. Really excellent use of Globby in this finale, by the way. Globby was the MVP, man. He broke him out. He did some shape shifting, turned into a dinosaur.
I like how they brought Globby in as the fan favorite for the save at the end of the season. That was nice timing there.
Considering how he was redeemed at the end of the last season, and now he's basically come full circle.
Before she got back into the giant, clunky robot body, I love that she kind of built this very Obake-esque looking body, Trina. I love that she really became her father in a sense, and that kind of led to the misdirect earlier, too. And I love how she still honors, Noodle Burger Boy as her little brother, which I think is just one of the great running gags.
It was kind of sad when they actually sent him into space. He's like, "I love you, Sid."
Yeah, it was sad, but the relish gag was hysterical. This whole, I expected ketchup, and of course, what did we say about using condiments as weapons? Sorry, sis.
You kind of feel bad for the little guy.
You do. He's so. I love the familial side of this little new burger boy you want to nurture, but it's still though psychotic killing machine.
Yeah, it's just who loves his who loves his big sister.
He's a company man though. You gotta give him points for that, company man. All right. So let's see, Megamax. Let's talk Megamax.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great payoff for Roddy for sure.
I think we can just say I think this in this last arc of the series they really came up with a lot more creative action sequences than they have in the past.
It's really sadistic, how they kind of economized Obake's plan. Of course, it was going to destroy San Francisco, I believe, using some sort of kind of solar flare or something destroyed last season. In this case, it was like that to create a tsunami or something. The point being, he was going big and physical to destroy it, kind of Ultron style. He was going to destroy the world, then the robots would be left. In this case, what Trina's doing, she's doing something even more sadistic. She's microwaving San Francisco, essentially melting every organic thing, which is, oh god, it's so terrifying when you think about it.
It's amazing that nobody actually got caught on fire or anything at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
it showed that it was able to melt cars and buildings and everything.
Could have been like Gremlin. Could have been like that microwave scene in Gremlins for all we know. Yeah, terrifying. Right, so of course I love Tadashi's legacy trumps Obake's when we're switching out the chips using the little battle buddy bots, little magnet bots that Hero, little microbots that Hero built.
And they're basically turned into big deep voice Baymaxes.
Yeah, which is great. They're still doing like a little wave and everything with their giant kind of 209 hands.
Hello.
Right. Let's see. I believe that's of course the unmasking moment. Cruz is in the know, guys. Cruz is in the know, and he supports him after they save Megan. He sees, okay, we're on the same side now. So there's some status quo for next season. Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting.
Sorry.
Which is pretty interesting to see that you think. I mean, at least it felt like a natural progression. Like you kind of saw like he's willing to accept it in previous episodes, but now like once they saw what he did and like he saved, like since they couldn't save his father, they saved his daughter now.
Yeah,
which I think was a nice parallel.
Sure. It's also great seeing the cops' perspective on Big Hero 6's lack of plan and their approach, kind of their improv style of crime fighting, where it's, okay, what's the plan? We don't quite have a plan. Wait, what? It's going to be funny going forward seeing how that dynamic works out. But, there's a really nice bow tied at the end of the season with the speech going on there. Hero's giving his big Tadashi speech about, Tadashi's... When he mentioned Tadashi's last words, I was like, oh, man, that was really sweet. Or someone has to help. It's like, yeah, it's Tadashi's. That was Tadashi's mantra. That's what Baymax is all about. That's really nice. And we're seeing, like, Felony, Carl, and Globby hugging. We're seeing the little donut shenanigans between father and daughter. It's a really nice little bow at the end of everything. Quite nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so final thoughts on the season, gentlemen. I guess I'll go first. I've been kind of quiet because I'll admit I ran out of time and didn't get to watch the end of the episode. Cards on the table. I did look. I looked up a Wikipedia summary. All right, I got the gist of it.
So now I wish you saw the movie Long Shot for what you just said right now. I'm sorry. Go on, please. Just go.
Oh God. Okay, so overall, I think this season was pretty messy, if I'm being honest with you guys. I honestly think like throughout the 24 episodes, we got maybe like 3 or 4 big arcs as opposed to the really well developed singular arc with Obaki that we got in the in season 1. Oh God, I'm about to get a hiccup attack out of nowhere. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, just overall pretty good standout moments. I don't think narratively the season is nearly as good as season 1 though. So yeah, that's where I'm coming down on it.
Okay, I guess
someone saved me from my hiccuping.
I guess
yeah, go on, Jacob.
Like I kind of agree. I mean, I think it definitely had very strong moments. I mean, it was kind of interesting how the Liv Amara was basically solved like near the end of the series, even though that was like she was near the end of the season, even though it was like it couldn't seemed like it was going to stretch on. But I guess it's a good thing to stop it before it carried on for too long. But and then I agree. I don't think it would be as strong as the. I mean, it's a bit darker in some ways, but I don't think it's also as strong in some ways either. It's still good. I mean, it's still a good watch and everything. And honestly, I don't think this season finale is as good as the last one. I think the last one had like a bit higher stakes. Like, I mean, the stakes are more. I guess you could say the stakes are more evenly spread. I could say.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
But overall, I think it was a decent watch, and hopefully, season 3 can improve.
All right. Final thoughts for me for the overall season is season 2. Yeah, it ended up being a little bit more research and development than you've seen what sticks. You imagine they get out of the systems in the first season. I was hoping they were going to come collect with a little bit more of a plan on the second go around. In some respects, they did. Again, the whole Liv Amara kind of half season. The first half of the season being that Amara story, which let's face it, it's a good attempt. They made a good attempt with the Amara stuff, but again.
It was good, but it was Noah Backe, and I feel like the reason why they couldn't stretch it out to a full season is frankly just because she didn't have the screen presence that Obaki did. I feel like if they would have come up with a better villain, then they could have stretched things out a little bit longer.
She was just again. Amara's problem was that she was always a little too nonchalant in places where it's like, well, the stakes aren't really there if she's not really like selling you on her. She's like, that's the thing. Where again, you're absolutely right though. That's the thing. At the end of the day, the season 2 still doesn't have the reverse Flash-esque kind of presence of an Obake, if you will. It's just kind of lacking the X factor. It's lacking the Moriarty that we literally had Moriarty playing Obake last season. Andrew Scott. We didn't have, but again, I honestly, for me, I can echo the sentence from both of you guys here. We had arcs that kind of captured the magic of what I think they were going for, what they were kind of plotting in the kind of writer's room, and I feel, for this installment, like 19 through 24, again, I think we picked up the pace. It's a shame we couldn't have this momentum kind of from the start, or at least since the Omara story. I don't know. I feel like it drifted off a little bit. I think the finale was solid. I think Chief Cruz could have been used a little bit. We could have gotten a lot of this Chief Cruz stuff maybe a little bit earlier in the series, and I think it would have helped pick things up a little bit. They could have maybe, I don't know, they could have seeded that through a little bit because I was really interested by it. And again, there's really some stuff here. So I'm hoping season 3 might maybe it cracks the code. Maybe they finally, okay, we've kind of had 2 seasons, kind of Pharaoh kind of show. We are, 3rd season. The plan, man. We're going to fool it. We're going to give you Amara, but you're going to give Amara that makes you feel like you got another Obake, or Obake in a sense, because there's never going to be another Obake, let's be honest. But still, it can be good.
Right. Just to address Claude here, will you be doing a podcast about the first 10 episodes of the Owl House? Claude, I honestly thought I was more far behind than just 10 episodes. So, yeah, I could get caught up on 10 episodes pretty easily. I'll see what I can do about that. I don't know who I'm going to get as my co-host.
And I could join you for that. I've already watched all of them.
Oh, cool. So yeah, Jacob and I could probably do that at some point, Claude. Not a problem. And like I said, Claude, the Steven Universe Future podcast will be out tomorrow. Alrighty then. So that is about it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Claude, you're awesome as always. Very, very good feedback in the comments. Thanks to Atomic Beast for stumbling upon this this channel. Hope you liked what you saw. And see you guys later. Follow. That was his mistake.